Is Salem, Oregon really a perfect place to retire, or is it just overhyped? If you've been dreaming about a quieter lifestyle, beautiful scenery, and access to the coast and the mountains, a community that still feels like a small town, you might have heard Salem mentioned as a hidden gem. But here's the thing, Salem, Oregon is not perfect. There are some pros that you're going to love and some cons that you want to be aware of before making the move here. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the real costs, the lifestyles, and services that you can expect here in Salem as a senior, and we're going to go over some of the downsides that you may not be aware of so you can better make the decision on whether Salem, Oregon is going to be the right place for you to retire. So in this video, I'm going to give you my unfiltered takes of the good, the bad, and the realistic. First, let's start off why Salem, Oregon makes the short list for people thinking about retirement, and we are going to start off with the pace of life. And you don't have to be a retiree to want a slower pace of life, but from the people that I've helped thinking about Salem, that is one of the number one things they're thinking about. Getting out of that big city, the rush, the congestion, all the hustle that comes with big city life, and they want a slower pace. There's only about 180,000 people here. However, it is making it like a mid-sized city, but it acts and feels like a small town. Now, there are plenty of amenities with shopping and restaurants, health services, entertainment, and more to get what you need, and very easy to navigate, not having to battle traffic, not having to battle parking spaces, walk for long blocks to get to your destination, and not just having to deal with all of the hyperactivity that comes in a larger city. Second on the list of why people are choosing Salem is the location. I've talked about this in some of my other videos. It's one of the reasons we chose the Salem. But for retirees, you are really close to everything. You're about an hour outside of Portland. So if you need to go into the big city for any reason or you just want to, it's a quick drive. You're also just about an hour away from the coast. So in your retirement years, you've hopefully got more time to enjoy. You can just take a quick trip through beautiful forested road and highway and get to the beach and the coastline in no time, about an hour. And if you like hiking in the mountains, like trekking in the woods, you're about an hour and change from the foothills of the Cascade Mountains and about 2 hours into the heart of it. The third reason why Salem, Oregon makes the list for retirees is this is the community, and I can vouch for this for sure. There are a lot of events and activities that happen in Salem throughout the year, making it very welcoming, especially again if you've got more time on your hands to really enjoy all of the events that happen throughout the city of Salem. And finally, it's the climate. Now, you may have heard a lot about the Pacific Northwest weather, but it is generally mild. Comparing it to other parts of the country, you've got snowstorms and you're shoveling snow. You don't want to be doing that in your retirement years if you're living in the Midwest, or if you're in the South, dealing with that hot and humid weather throughout the summers, making it really uncomfortable to do anything. Southeast, you've got hurricanes and massive storms, same with the Northeast. And in your retirement years, you just really don't want to deal with all of those weather events. And no matter what you've heard about the Pacific Northwest, we are pretty mild here. Yes, we do have rain, and it does get gray here, and I will address that later in the video. But in general, your retirement years, you're not going to have to worry about massive weather events. And I think it's a great thing, especially as you're getting older. Heck, I don't want to deal with that, and I'm not really close to retirement age yet. Now let's talk money. We're going to be talking about the cost of living in Salem, as this seems to be a very important issue when talking to a lot of people, retirees that I've helped move here to Salem, Oregon. And that's because a lot of them are on fixed incomes, or they just want to make sure their whatever passive income they have coming in covers their lifestyle and expenses, and that they're living a comfortable life. We're going to first, of course, start with the cost of housing, because that is going to be the biggest part of your budget. Now, people that are moving here that I've helped are buying homes here, and the median price here in Salem, Oregon is around $430,000. Now, of course, this will depend on what part of Salem you're moving to. It's going to be a little bit more expensive in West Salem and a little bit more expensive in South Salem. You will be touching kind of in the 500 range for sure. When you compare that to cities like Portland, so if you're living in Portland, you probably already know this, but median home price there is around $550,000. So that's a significant jump. And if you're not in this part of Oregon or the Pacific Northwest, Seattle's even more expensive. Then you talk about Bend, Oregon, which is a very popular destination for retirees, but you're also talking at a much higher price point, $700,000-$800,000 median price point there. So in general, the cost of housing is going to be less expensive here in Salem when you're comparing it to other cities or of like size or larger within the general region. Another benefit for living in Salem, Oregon, or Oregon in general, is that there is no sales tax. Now, this has huge benefits for your daily lifestyle because whether you're doing groceries, going out to restaurants, whatever type of entertainment you're doing, the price you see is what you pay. There's no additional cost, and that can actually greatly affect your finances and your budget planning. Now, I haven't met anybody that said that this was the driving cause for them to move to Salem, but it is definitely an additional perk. Now, keeping with taxes, I will say the downside to moving to or living in Oregon is the state taxes. We have one of the higher rates of state income taxes here. So if you are generating any type of income, just expect that to be maybe a little bit higher than what you're used to. Of course, you're going to want to talk to a CPA or some sort of accountant to help you better prepare for that. Again, keeping with taxes, we'll talk property taxes. You can figure in close to about 1%, a little bit over 1% of your property's value for your property taxes. Again, this, depending on where you're moving from, this could be a benefit. Like if you're moving from Texas, property taxes tend to be a bit higher. But if you're moving from other parts, they may be a bit lower. So we're kind of right in the middle there. Now, sticking with that middle theme, when you talk about groceries or your general shopping pricing here, we're about in line with the national average. So you're not going to get any real deep discounts with pricing here as far as energy costs and groceries and your day-to-day purchases. Now, I will say where you may get some benefit is because we are surrounded by farmland. If you go to the local farms to pick your own fruit, which could be a fun activity, or if you go to the local farmers markets, the Saturday market, which we have spring through fall, you're going to find some much better pricing in produce there. So you could save a little bit there, and that's maybe a benefit for living in Salem and being surrounded by farmland. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. I love helping people move to and relocate to the city of Salem and the surrounding areas. So if you're thinking about moving here, buying a house, make sure you hit me up at the contact information popping up or in the information below. Also, if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to get more information, lifestyle content, and what it's like to live here in Salem. I relocated here. I'm not a local, so I do understand what it's like to move from another area to Salem, so I have that perspective to help and guide you through that process. For many retirees that I've helped, senior services and healthcare definitely seem to be at the forefront. Now, here in Salem, we do have Salem Health, which is a large modern hospital with many specialties, and that covers pretty much all of Salem. We do have other hospitals in the surrounding cities, but the main one is going to be Salem Health. Now, I will say right off the top, if you need any really type of specialized care or care that is more complicated in nature, then you may have to go up into Portland again. So that's about an hour drive away. So just be prepared for that. In addition to the Salem Health Hospital, we have got a lot of auxiliary facilities here when it comes to physical therapy, chiropractic care, and other types of specialty care. And the awesome thing is, because Salem is such a small town, it really only takes about 30 minutes or so to get across town, and most likely you won't have to cross the whole town depending on where you're living. But it's a really easy commute to a lot of these facilities, so you're not going to be stuck in traffic again because we're a smaller city. You're not going to deal with congestion, so you can get to your appointments with a lot more ease. There's also a lot of assisted living options, and there are a number of senior housing communities here in Salem. The really nice thing is more people are actually considering Salem as a place to retire. These programs and facilities are just growing in nature, so there's a lot of opportunities to meet more retirees, more seniors, and lots of great classes, whether it comes to art, music, dance, yoga, and everything in between, educational classes. There are abundant opportunities to meet other people and enjoy those activities. Also in the city of Salem, there's something called the 50 Plus program, which caters to people that are 50 years or older and getting into that, closer to that retirement age and senior years, where they offer many programs that you can participate in within the city. Now let's talk about some of the neighborhoods that are attracting more retirees. And this is through communication and from what I've seen here in Salem. And we'll start off with Salem Town. Salem Town is in West Salem. It is a senior living housing community. It's got its own private golf course, really cool spots, single level homes, and it's become a very popular place for seniors and retirees. Now I will say, being in West Salem, you do cross the Willamette Bridge and you are a little bit further away from some of the healthcare facilities and the hospital itself, so just be aware of that. We do get a little bit of traffic on that bridge. And if that bridge shuts down, well, you have a little bit of trouble getting across to the necessities and the amenities that you may need. Given that, though, this is a very kind of secluded place. It's tucked away from it all, so you don't feel like you're part of that hustle of the city of Salem, but yet you are really close to amenities in West Salem, and you're just about a 10-minute drive into the downtown area for that type of entertainment. Another neighborhood that seems to be popular is the Bush Park area, or the South Central area of Salem, which is adjacent to the downtown area. These are kind of old bungalow, craftsman style homes, a little bit more flat in this area than other parts of Salem. And because it puts you really close to the downtown area, a lot of people like to either walk there, maybe get on their bike and just head into the downtown area for some of their entertainment. It also puts you really close to Bush Pasture Park, which is a great place to stroll. Outdoor activities. They've got a heritage center there, a rose garden. They do the art festival there and other events, and just a really nice park to kind of walk around and enjoy right there in the heart of that neighborhood. Another neighborhood on the rise, and it's a little bit of a hidden gem, is Pringle Creek. Now, these homes are a little bit more, they're newer, about a couple years old as of the making of this video. You've got a mixture of single-story and two-story homes. But these homes, it's a community lifestyle there. They call it like an agrihood, where it really invites you to be a contributing member of the neighborhood. They've got a community garden, a community greenhouse. They've got orchards throughout the area where you can just pick fruit whenever you want. And it really encourages people kind of that front porch living, mainly because you don't really have a backyard to speak of. So you have really little property. Now, depending on what type of lifestyle you want, this may be great for people that don't want a lot of high maintenance yard or any type of taking care of their yard. They've got a little bit of a front yard with a porch, and it just really encourages a sense of community and togetherness. And it's a really interesting lifestyle. You should definitely check it out if that is something that is appealing to you, especially if you want a little bit newer construction and a community vibe. Now, in addition to Salem Town, which is that first senior housing community I mentioned, there are other senior living facilities and housing communities here in Salem. I will say Salem, there is a large portion of hillside properties and hillside lifestyle, which you'll find a lot in West Salem and parts of South Salem. So depending on your lifestyle, that may not be for you. If you're not into walking hills or getting around the neighborhood walking hills. Also, we do get some ice storm maybe once in a while. We do get a dusting of snow that lasts a few days. So if you're on a slant on your driveway, it could be making it hard to get out of your driveway, or just walking in snow on the hills is a little bit more challenging. Now, I mentioned we do have mild weather. I'm bringing up snow because being completely truthful with you, that it will snow here like maybe once or twice a year. And if it does, again, it only sticks for a couple of days. So it's really not that big of a deal, not a huge event, but just something to be aware of if you are considering buying property on a hillside. In talking to many seniors, one of the biggest attractions to Salem is the active lifestyle that it offers and provides for people here in the city. We've got over 40 parks in the city, and some of them are large. We've got the Riverfront Park, which runs across the Willamette River. It's beautiful open space. You get very nice walking paths, easy walking paths, great biking trail. And of course, they've got a playground, especially if you've got grandkids and you're retiring. Great place to take them, a splash pad to take your grandkids, let them run around while you hang out. They've got a carousel there. Again, just cool activities to do with grandkids or whatever kids that you're surrounding yourselves with in your retirement days. But a really fun park. This is where they do movies in the park, concerts at the park. Just a great space that's right adjacent to the downtown area. So you can have a nice stroll, go hit up the local bakery, Manna Bakery, get yourself a nice pastry and coffee, and enjoy the day. We also have Mento Brown Island Park, which is a large acreage of open space dedicated to wildlife habitat sanctuaries, and again, beautiful walking paths along the Willamette River. A lot of it, this one is going to be more tree lined with more tree cover and more shade, so that's a nice benefit. People walk there, bike there, stroll there, whatever it is, great outdoor activities. And they also have an off-leash dog park, so if you've got your fur babies that are going to be retiring with you, you can bring them to this off-leash dog park, which is awesome. People take advantage of that just a beautiful open space. And again, that's really close to the downtown area and close to the Bush Pasture Park area as well. We also have Kaiser Rapids Park. Now, this isn't technically in Salem. However, it's in Kaiser, which is just to the north of us, sister city, maybe 20-minute drive there. It's similar. It's kind of a combination of the Riverfront Park and Minto Brown Island Park, where it's got these great walking trails, forested kind of tree area along the river, big open space, lots of pickleball courts there. Also, there's a boat launch area, so maybe you're going to go fishing in your retirement days. You can also launch your boat from Salem. You don't have to go into Kaiser. If you go into the Wallace Marine Park area, there's a boat launch there that'll take you right into the river to enjoy some of the either water sports or some fishing. And if you want to take a short drive outside of city, we've got Silver Falls, which is a beautiful state park there. 10 waterfalls, some easy trails, some more challenging trails, beautiful parkland, beautiful space. A lot of people love taking advantage of the nature there. We've got the Oregon Garden in Silverton, again, about 20-30 minutes out. Silver Falls is about 40 minutes, 45-minute drive outside of Salem. But the Oregon Garden, again, a wonderful, beautiful space to walk around there. That's a little bit more flat with walking paths, beautiful gardens there. They've got events throughout the year, fun place to go. And just in general, you're just surrounded by nature. You're surrounded by wineries, vineyards, and farmland. So you can just go outside the city limits and find really nice walking paths and trails, take advantage of some of those wineries, have a sip of a glass of wine at the viewing the beautiful vineyards. And if you're into the active lifestyle, again, pickleball's become huge everywhere, but we've got a lot of pickleball courts throughout the city parks here. We've got the YMCA in downtown, nice newer built facility, a lot of senior programs there, whether it's swim classes, swim aerobics, different types of exercise programs. You also have the same thing at the Courthouse Gym, which is a gym here that we've got a number of locations here in Salem and Kaiser. Again, more senior programs, great places to work out, get fit. And we have the Croc Center, again, Salvation Croc Center. It's a really cool facility with a lot of amenities and senior programs there as well. So a lot of options for having an active lifestyle, whether it's outdoors, taking advantage of the beautiful scenery and nature here we have in Salem, or indoors, especially during those rainy days. We've got you covered here, keeping your active lifestyle going. And of course, I'll mention golf, not as a cliche, but there are golf courses here. They've got Salem Golf Course here. We've got Creekside Golf Course in South Salem. You've got Illahee Hills, which is a private club in Salem as well. And then you've got a number of golf courses in the surrounding areas. So plenty of golf to take advantage of. And yes, they are open during the rainy season too. In fact, they offer slightly better pricing. Of course, you're golfing in the rain, but that's just the lifestyle here in the Pacific Northwest. Now, as promised, there are some downsides and realities to living in Salem, Oregon. If you like this video, like what you've seen, hit the like button. Make sure you get this out to more people like yourselves thinking about moving to Salem, Oregon. Also, subscribe to the channel and comment below. I'd love to hear any of your concerns or thoughts about moving to Salem, whether you're retiring or not, or maybe someone that you know is retiring. Any questions I can answer there, and of course, reach me at the contact information. But let's deal with some of those negatives and realities. The first one's going to be the weather. Now, you may be thinking, well, you said it's mild, so what's the big deal? But of course, you've done your research and you know it rains a lot here in the Pacific Northwest. And I'd say that's one of the biggest complaints or drawbacks for people retiring or getting into their senior years. You think more people would move to maybe Arizona or Florida or parts of Texas where it's just sunny and hot. But if that's not for you, I don't think it's going to be for me. I don't do well in massive heat, but it does rain here a lot. And depending on your lifestyle or how you feel about that, that may affect your mood. It may affect being outdoors more. It may affect other parts of your life where you just don't want to deal with rain. So just be aware. Rain's about 150 days here of precipitation. Now, I will say, again, it's not massive storms pummeling you. We just don't get that type of rain. It's more of a lighter rain. We call it Oregon mist. It seems kind of damp and misty here. Of course, that's what gives us the lush green landscaping that we have and the beautiful nature. So there is a positive to that. But just be prepared for that. And more importantly, be prepared for the gray skies. Now, it's not gray and rainy all through fall and winter and the beginning of spring. It may feel that way at times, but we do get the sun that pops out for sure during those times. But if you're susceptible to seasonal depression, make sure you come here during that time to kind of get a sense of what that's like. Second con or negative and complaint that you're going to hear is that lack of nightlife. Now, again, this depends on where you are on your retirement, but things don't stay open real late here. Things close 8, 9 o'clock for the most part. Places close. A lot of places are closed on Mondays or some random day throughout the week. But we don't have a lot of the night lifestyle. So if that's part of your retirement plan or your retirement lifestyle where you just want to have more of that nightlife feel, you're not going to really get that here in Salem. Third would be healthcare. Now, I mentioned we do have a large hospital here. It is contemporary, the Salem Health Hospital here, but we are limited. And as I mentioned, if you're someone that needs specialty services or specialty care or something that's a little more complicated, you may have to venture into Portland. Now, again, it's only an hour away, but if it's something that you're going to be doing more frequently, this could be tiresome or just something you won't want to deal with. Salem may not be the best fit for you. And finally, I will mention that more and more people are choosing Salem as a place to live, not just retirees, but people in general, getting out of the big city lifestyle. And so the city is growing, and that actually brings a lot of positives with it. However, I mentioned to you that one of the great things about Salem is you're not dealing with the big city problems like traffic, congestion, parking areas, having to walk many blocks to get to your place, and just having to deal with all of that. But as the city grows, I am seeing a little bit more traffic, a little bit more congestion, and that will depend on where in the city that you would choose to live and where you'd be spending most of your time in the city. So just be aware of that. As the city grows and as more amenities arrive here, we are seeing more and more people retiring and choosing Salem as a place to live their retirement years. And with any city, you are going to have pros and cons. Hope this video helped you with some of the realities of both of those sides in figuring out if Salem's going to be the best place for you to retire. And again, I am Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. I love helping people move to and relocate to the city of Salem. If you're going to be buying a home here, make sure you reach out to me. Contact information popping up or in the description below. Again, subscribe to the channel to get more information about what it's like to live here. I, like yourself, relocated and moved here, so I do understand what that is like and what that process feels like. And hit the like button to get this video out to as many people thinking about moving to Salem as possible. Comment below. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, concerns, anything that you have questions about. I can answer them in the comments as well.